The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
You are listening to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer with a sports talk and a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Sports Network. Listen in as Brent and Dave invite you to belly up to the bar with them to talk about everything in the world of sports, just like you would do at your favorite watering hole. It's sports, beer, and shenanigans, so belly up to the bar with us, grab a beverage, and let's get into it.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 beer sports talking a whole lot more, episode number 366 on this 18th day of January 2024. Tonight's show is brought to you by SeatGeek.com and the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase over there at SeatGeek. Remember, we are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to bellyupsports.com for all their great sports content and articles and everything else, and other podcasts such as Craft Brew Sports. We had a loss in the Craft Brew Sports family this week. We'll get into that a little bit later. Devastating news, but we'll try to lighten things up a little bit here at 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. Dave, I had the pleasure of driving my significant other to the airport on Tuesday night. The conditions were a little bit adverse. They weren't great. The roads it snowed a lot. It snowed a lot here in Southern Alberta, something we aren't used to. We haven't seen this year. And
about 16 inches, so a foot and a half of snow.
There was a lot, and my back's feeling the amount of snow that fell, not only from shoveling but from carrying Deanne to the airport on Tuesday night. You know, is there anything worse than somebody telling you that things are bad and slow down, and things are bad to back off, and things are bad? Like when you know it's in front of you, it's like I can see it with my eyes. I can my senses are going. Is there anything worse than your significant other telling you how to do something when you can see it in front of your fucking face?
No,
there's not.
There's not. It's just like it's a look, and depending on the circumstance, on the task at hand, and what have you. And you know what? My wife is awesome, and she knows me. I get it from her more than you should be asking Katie this question, actually, because like when it's the small tasks, especially at camping and what have you, when grab this, grab that, and she goes, "I'm not one of your fucking staff." And then, okay, I'm sorry, you're right. Don't talk to me like I fucking work for you. And so I think you should be asking Katie this, but I know exactly what you're saying. No one likes being dictated.
In my old life, Dave, I would tell people what to do. Like you're saying, do this, do that, do that, do this, do that, and everything else. And I would also help out. But that drive up, Deanne, she's very nervous about weather. It
was to Calgary or Lethbridge Airport?
To Calgary.
Okay.
So I drove her to Calgary, and it was snowing hard. And she was very nervous the entire way. And she was telling me,
watch for this, watch for that.
Can you back out? Can you just? And I said, Deanne, the last person what's going to accident is me. Can you just not? I said, you nagging doesn't help me. And then she got upset with me, and I said, so this makes things better. And it was just like okay, just quit it. Like I want to get you to the airport so you can go and see your family in Toronto, and then I will make my way back. It's gonna be fine. Can you just not? Can you just shut it? Like, and I went about it wrong. I apologized to her, but just like sometimes you should just shut it.
You're right. You're right.
And she, I get on her nerves 100%. 100%. I say things like 100%. But sometimes you should just
Is this the way we want to be doing things? And especially, well, you know me, I'm a bit of an aggressive driver, and that trip back and forth from.
I'm not.
Oh, I am an aggressive driver, and I like driving fast, and especially in the winter, because with my Subaru and when I have my Blizzak winter tires, I have I have a ton of confidence, and it makes Kaylee
Shout out Blizzette.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It makes her a little nervous how fast I drive on snowy conditions. And she, can we just please slow down? And then I do. And then like, she has a legitimate point. If I was by myself and I didn't have my wife and child and dog in the car, we've never crashed yet, touch wood. But I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. That
well, needless to say,
you got to check yourself.
I'm the least aggressive driver. I never get speeding tickets. I never get anything. And she's the aggressive driver out of the bunch of us, and like things and stuff happen with her. Not bad, but it's like, hey, so, and I never did bring that up because she was really nervous the other night, and I never did bring it up saying, okay, you're the one who gets in accidents. You're the one who fucking speeds. You're the one, you're the one who's aggressive. I just drive to get from where I'm going to A to B. Like, if it takes me fucking a minute longer, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it was an odd situation. It was odd.
Do you tell her how to shovel the walk?
I do, but she doesn't listen because she gets to do it.
You know, if you did this, Greek goddess, and you wouldn't have to.
If you, I'll give you an example of how to do it. Because Jesus, I shoveled yesterday.
There was a bit of snow.
I shoveled yesterday at the new office job. I shoveled here twice here today. Like there was some snow, man. There was a lot of snow.
Yesterday was a two shoveler
there was a two shoveler
before I went to work and when I got home from work. Thank Christ I have an able-bodied, willing, I'll put that in air quotes, willing son, and we can bang it off in about 15 minutes. But like when it was a solo job, that 15 minutes, that was more like closer to 45. It's more than twice as fast with two shovels.
I got the driveway and the sidewalk, and then to walk up to the house down to about 17 minutes now.
Oh.
I'm pretty good. But the thing is, I got to have maybe this weekend, like that's with Leighton next door there, Chad Leighton, if you're listening, or if anybody knows Chad Leighton from Lethbridge area, I got to have a chat with him. He comes to we talked about it last week. He comes to an abrupt stop.
No courtesy.
At a certain stop. And tonight when I got home, I was going to go a little farther, but then the prick in me, because I know Lace for a long time. I went like, you know what? We got to have a chat about whoever wakes up first, that's who does this. Or I'll do it Monday, Thursday, Friday, whatever. And I'll do yours, you do mine. Good. And not the driveway, just the sidewalk.
Like once again, like I said,
he's a great guy. Like there's no getting around. He's a great guy.
How much foot traffic you get in your neighborhood? Any?
Oh, there's quite a bit. Yeah.
Okay.
People walk their dogs over to the park and stuff and things.
Yeah. No. All you have to do is a courtesy pass, and they'll repay the favor. And then when whoever gets out second, then there's not all those foot tracks because the 13th Street side of my house.
Yeah.
That's all. Like it's all tramped down. Like we shovel. You just can't. Like you
get the top layer off, and that's it.
Yeah, there's people walking on that stretch of sidewalk at 4 a.m. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but it's where I live, and it's.
I'll bet you those people are having a good time in their heads.
Not if they were walking on that fucking street. Like there's like 10 tracks. When Jasper and I get on that fucking thing, it's 10 to 7 in the morning. And there's 10, 15 foot tracks on there. Fuck. I didn't want to be walking lost, and I'm just happy, I'm in my bed.
Holy Christ. Austin Matthews. Good to get some sports here. Austin Matthews just scored his 9,000th goal in for the Maple Leafs tonight, and they got a hat trick already.
Oh, so that's what the goddess is doing in Toronto, planning parade routes.
She's probably there parade routes in Toronto, making sure things are good on whatever street that is, in Young Street, I guess it is.
Yeah.
in Toronto, and no, she's out there she's having a nice time with her family. So, anyways, Dave, the NHL trade deadline is a month and a half away, March 11th, I think it is, and there's a lot of teams who are hovering around. I think there's only about 6 teams right now who are out. You got the San Jose's. I'm going to put Ottawa in there. A lot of teams that aren't very good, and they know it. And I'm not going to include these guys in this conversation we're going to have, but there are, like I said, there's 27 teams that are still in the playoff race. There's only 5 to 6 teams, I think, that are actually Stanley Cup contenders. And who knows on January the 18th of 2024 who's going to win the thing, because anything can happen no matter what. Like you look at the LA Kings, they came out of nowhere when they got Daryl Sutter as the head coach again, and they ended up winning one out of nowhere. But there has to be some sort of logic. There has to be some sort of logic eventually that comes from an owner. Actually, you know what? I'll go the other way. There has to be some sort of logic that goes from the GM and player personnel up to the owner, down to the investors, and on it goes. Whoever it was, say, you know what? We're not that fucking good. Maybe we should look to next year or 2 years from now, because we have some good guys from here, and let's sell now and actually go towards some teams right now with our assets, with whether it be a pick or a player, and say, you know what, let's sell high. Let's sell high right now and get what we want now, not what's left over come trade deadline day.
Yeah, I've used the phrase before. It's intellectual honesty, right? So, let's just use, because it's the closest NHL city to us, it's the Calgary Flames. They're above expectations, and they're licking the jar for that 8th seed. But they have, I want to say, 6 or 7 unsigned, like expiring contracts on their team. And these are, if you're not a good team, these are the players you want to flip and get a draft pick, a prospect, something for them, as opposed to having to shell out again for them for being a not playoff team. Calgary's playing better than a lot of people expected, and from, once again, props to the Barn Burner podcast, which I listen to all the time. Those guys are like, fuck, are we happy or not? We're so happy for the team. They're having success. This new coach, players are happy coming to the rink. But like, what do we do? Like, absolute best case scenario, you get the 8th seed going into the playoffs and you haven't traded anybody, and now we got nothing for all these guys. They got pieces.
Dave, you always have to look. Yeah, you want to win a Stanley Cup, 100%. 100%.
But this team, the Calgary Flames, ain't it?
Aren't. They're not.
And you know what? Making the playoffs as a Buffalo Bills or Ottawa Senators, that's a huge step forward. Making the playoffs isn't
Buffalo
what the
Sabres, not the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, I said so, Bills. Sorry, Buffalo Sabres or the Ottawa Senators. That would be a huge step up, and that's something that fan base would do anything for. But the Flames have been in the playoffs, and you know what they do when the playoffs? They flame out. They get almost embarrassed, and then now, okay, well, we were close. Let's try something new. It's time to, like, it's the perfect opportunity for them. They have Craig Conroy, who's been in the organization for fucking ever, and now it's his job to try and figure out what to do with this team. He was on that
2003 team that fucking near pulled her off.
Yeah, from assistant to the traveling secretary to assistant to the GM to now the GM, and and he's a good guy. Like, I haven't heard anyone say a bad word about him. It's his job to try and figure it out. And then I from what I hear, that owner would probably rather have 2 playoff dates than rebuild. And the fan base is just clamoring for a rebuild. They have
I'm not a Flames guy by any means. I whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like I know they're not winning a Stanley Cup 100%. I know that they made some
they're
deals.
not winning a Stanley Cup.
I think the brass knows that they're not winning a Stanley Cup. But like, at what point do you fucking look at a guy's like why accountants fucking get in owners' ears? I'm kind of like money, I guess. But the thing is like, wouldn't a smart person, because owners, I would hope are smart other than Jerry Jones. We know it's not smart. Wouldn't you go, okay, this year we're not going to take a loss, or we're not a loss. Let's not fucking say anyone's losing money, because they're not. Because they're not. Wouldn't you think a wife would walk into the owner's when he's getting dressed, putting his tie on to go wherever, and say, you know what? Wouldn't we be better off to get some assets and get better, and maybe in 3 or 4 years from now win a cup, because we just drafted a bunch of kids, because it would take a logical woman to get into an Uberman's head, right? To say, listen, you know what? Maybe we should change things a little bit. Like, maybe we should just, not make the playoffs this year, and not have 2 playoff games and whatever it is. And because we'll be fine. Our credit cards aren't going to bounce. So why just like, what the fuck is the reasoning behind that?
Well, like once again, using this Flames organization, it's been, I'm not going to call it mediocrity. I'm going to call it C plus B minus hockey, right? Some years make the playoffs, some years not. But then never succeeding in the playoffs, never being an actual threat for the cup. And that's the prize that should be first and foremost.
Yes.
It's not and for me, it seems that the Calgary Flames, whoever's making the decisions at the top of that food chain, has decided that no, playoffs is good. I want to be competitive. And
the Canucks forever, right?
Right. And the Canucks forever. But in the Canucks, because they rolled through coaches. Like, they had a revolving door, like 4 until they got to talking here, like 4 in the last 3 years. It's been a little bit ridiculous. And now the Flames seem to have found their coach. The Flames seem to have found their mojo. But the mojo now is with a bunch of people on expiring contracts. They're just not good enough. And even like Johnny Huberdeau is actually trying, like, finding his game and what have you. But it's not this year. It's not this year. And everybody's like, you have pieces that other teams that are ready to make a run for the cup want. You'd be an absolute fool not to trade for pieces and save yourself a shit ton of dough and let your young players develop, drop a bit in the standings, because once again, no matter what sport you're drafting in, a top 10 pick is a lot better than a 10 to 20 pick. Like, there's a significant drop off. Just suck. Trade those pieces. Suck. I get it. You're only 2 points out of the playoffs, but you don't have a chance when you look at those teams that are ahead of you. You're not beating the fucking Knights. You're not beating the Avalanche, and you're not beating the Oilers. So there's 3 teams that are for sure going to beat you in the playoffs.
In a 7-game series, 100%.
100%.
I remember in 2009. This is a long time ago. The San Francisco Giants were about 3 or 4 games out of a playoff spot at that deadline. And they went, you know what? We're just not going to be that good this year. We're not beating the Yankees. We're not beating the Phillies. We're just not. And they made a bunch of deals that traded a bunch of guys away and everything else. And all of a sudden, 2010, 2012, 2014, they won World Series, right? So maybe that's kind of the model. Like, if you're not that good, just admit it and go for it. Even if you're on the brink,
you're good, but not good enough.
We might get it. We like, baseball was different back then. There was wild card teams and 2 divisions, everything else, and all of a sudden you go, you know what? We're not going to win, so why bother? Because I've said it all. We talk about it all the time. what's what like, especially in football, what does one more game get you? Nothing. Like nothing.
Right. Unless you're a team that's been struggling forever, and now a playoff appearance is
then
the
you
next
get
step
hype.
forward.
Then you get hype 100%.
Yes, but
if
you're not like
if your team's been fucking chewing on the fucking jerky forever, then what? Who cares?
Yeah, where's the joy in losing in the wild card
every
round
year,
3 years in a row? Like that's not fun anymore. Oh, hooray! We get to watch them on TV, and maybe
and then the Giants made that decision to sell off some assets when they were in 2009 when they weren't doing anything for a long time because they haven't done anything for a long time. And all of a sudden in 2010, 12, and 14, they're world champions. And that might be one of the greatest things we've seen in our recent history about management and ownership. You know what? You're right. Let's not, and let's build on what we have for next year, not this year.
And I think the fan base,
because if you're close, I think, and like you were going to say here, if your team is close and your ownership goes, you know what, we're getting rid of this guy, draft, blah blah blah, especially in hockey, because baseball draft picks don't matter a whole bunch, but we have this now, and make it public that we can do this.
The fan base is going to understand, especially the diehards.
Be honest.
Like, we don't think this is a team. Like, the knowledgeable fan doesn't even need a statement like the New York Rangers did. I believe we talked about it when they put that statement out about, we're going to suck for a year or two. For 3 or 4 years, I believe the statement said. And then all of a sudden, and then they fell ass in the butter with Shesterkin. And then, like you always say, a good goalie makes a good coach, makes a good team. And then they can make other moves because they fell ass backwards into a top-notch goalie. And then all of a sudden now they're challenging for the cup 2 years later after they said, like, we're going to tap out this year and see what we can do.
Yeah.
And that's and a knowledgeable fan base is completely fine with that, especially when you have a streak like the Flames. Like, what was it, 89 when 89. They won? That's a long fucking time ago. Fucking time ago.
And then that Stanley Cup run they had was 2004, I think it was. 3 or 4, 2004.
That was the year before the strike, yes.
And that's a long time. To be irrelevant. And I think the Flames, and not just let's fuck the Flames. Who cares? No.
Like, who does care about the Flames? We're just using that as.
Well, my mother does, but
sorry, Mark.
It's. I think fans, personally, as a Yankee guy, I would rather honesty from the front office.
A fan.
If you're a smart fan, you get it. Especially when you get into your 50s. You're like, yeah, I get it. We're not that good.
Exactly. If you're a 14-year-old in the year 2000 and your dad's a Pats fan and all of a sudden you watch the Patriots be in it every year, then like you don't understand like that 5-year, 7-year stretch of the Yankees. Like it's like, well, fuck, we're not supposed to be in it. Alabama fan. There is times where your team is in it or licking the jar every single year. That's not a normal sports fan experience. And then everybody else has to learn to like it or lump it, but then also understand but they want to see their ownership do things that is going to put their team closer to winning just one. We don't want you 6 and 10 years is fucking wet dream stuff. I just want one. And if you can give this to the fans a reason to expect that they have a chance at one, you're going to have fans for life.
I as a Yankee guy, it's 2009 since the first time, the last time since they won one, sorry. But I'd rather them win. I don't care about 2028, 29, 30. I don't care about 2052. And as you as a Bronco guy, just give me one more. Give me one more.
I want one more. I still think I have a lot of years left in me.
I have at least 148 more years left in me. I want one more, but with actual hope, like not the false hope and the fucking rigmarole and blah blah blah. I want when the Broncos entered this season, Dave. Did you have actual hope that they were going to win a Super Bowl?
No, you know what? I actually did put, because the odds were so good with Sean Payton coming in, I did put a couple shekels down and didn't win. I was excited for the Russell Wilson, but then the signing there, but then I didn't realize how bad of a coach Nathaniel Hackett was. What gave me hope, even though it was squashed, was the fact that the organization was taking big swings, and I don't mind that. But now it's time to step back and reassess and see what we're going to do. And I realize it's been a long time since Denver's been in the playoffs, but I think this coach is quite capable. And I'm curious as to what happens the next 2 years, because they got salary cap issues. They made some mistakes. I'm now once again, because of the past that they've had, the Broncos being a really good organization, and they're always trying.
That's a bunch of jerk off talk.
It is jerk off talk. But like we said, like you asked me, and this is fan talk. Like I'm not happy with the decisions they've made over the last couple of years, and they've swung and missed on quarterbacks, and we all know that you need a quarterback. No, I'm okay with. Well, I'm not okay with the Broncos are right now, but I'm optimistic because it takes a couple of years. Like, you know what? I would rather be Bronco fan right now than Pittsburgh Steeler fan right now.
You're out of your head.
Oh no, fuck. Blue and orange over black and yellow any day right now.
You don't have a quarterback.
Well, like we don't know what's going to happen. Well, neither does Pittsburgh.
Well, they actually have two. Like one that made the playoffs this year.
Oh.
And one they have high hopes for.
That's a total jerk off. Like, okay, fuck, have them. I'd rather have fucking Gardner Minshew than any of those two fucking smelts they got thrown.
Who's playing quarterback for your fucking?
It might be D-Russ next year again. I don't know. And I don't know.
So they're running the exact same thing, and you're happy with that?
No, we're not running the exact same thing. We're doing shit different. But the Russell Wilson experiment went so bad. It's costing us. And then, so that's why I'm willing to give them 2-3 more years, because now they have a coach in charge that knows how to fucking work things. Tomlin and his grit and the Pittsburgh Steelers luck, like that's going to run out sooner or later.
But
okay. So like we just said, like, so now like
getting a game 100%.
There you go. You went to Buffalo.
That's actually a Brent original. Getting one game, who gives a fuck? You get one more game. You get one more game in Carolina. Who gives a fuck?
A first round playoff, a road team playoff loss
means nothing.
It means fuck.
Means nothing.
So there you go. You happy now?
And you go to the NHL. You lose the first round in 5. Who gives a fuck? Nobody. You're not that good. Half team make the playoffs, half don't. Who gives a fuck?
And it's expectations. Like I say, like an organization like Pittsburgh, like they're happy about that. They're not fucking happy about that. Whereas a team like fucking Houston is ecstatic.
I think, Dave, like Pittsburgh's expectations aren't great this year since drafting fucking Kenny Pickett. It didn't work out. I'm not a football guy like you are. Drafting a guy like CJ Stroud in Texas, it worked out. In Houston, sorry, it worked out. Good. Drafting a guy like fucking Connor McDavid, it hasn't worked out yet.
Well, it's worked out magically. It's not his fault they're losing.
It hasn't worked out yet.
Yeah.
Right?
When we say workout, we mean a championship.
Because you fall to the bottom to get guys who are that good, right? And so I don't know, man. Like to you be saying that the Denver Broncos are on a path to something, that's odd.
Well, no, I'm completely optimistic. The pieces clearly are not there
because they follow that mediocrity is mediocrity.
Right. That's what happened. And they didn't have the quarterbacks and they didn't have the coaches and they blamed the coaches. It was unsettling to me because it looked like the Broncos were falling into the path of the Oilers. But instead of the owner being a jock stiffer, he died. And then so now we have a new owner and he's a Walton. So he has the dollars. I don't know. I'm not crazy about being.
Who were the Waltons? Not the Walmart, but the other Waltons. There was John Boy,
Betty Jo, Sue Ann. I don't fucking know. And they were shooting squirrels.
I used to watch that every Sunday night.
John Boy, good night, Ma, good night, Pa. Yeah.
I think it was Sundays. Yeah.
Was
that what it was?
I think so. I remember the closing credits were more iconic than I don't remember anything about it.
Who was the mayor of the family? And he was a bit of a prick.
I have no idea.
Or the mayor of the town. And then there was that girl that curly
Walnut Grove. Was that Walnut Grove or is that Little House on the Prairie?
I can't remember.
I mix up Little House on the Prairie and Walton sometime.
I like Little House.
Little House on the Prairie was far superior to the Waltons.
Yeah, the Waltons, there was that family who ran the town. They were cocksuckers.
Yeah, like with Half Pint and Mary, and Pa and Ma, and that.
No, I like the Waltons, but that family that was the banker and the thing and the stuff and the curly Sue with the fucking.
Are you thinking of the Olsons from? I think you're mixing up. I think you're thinking of the Olsons from Little House on the Prairie. Nellie Olson was the bitch.
Oh yeah, I didn't like her.
Well, who did? She was that. I feel bad for the young girl that had to portray Nellie. Nellie was her name.
Yeah.
So she had to walk around fucking life all day with people saying
she should come on the podcast and then come over and show my fucking sidewalk tomorrow. I didn't like her very much. Whatever.
I'll DM her in her 1905 shoes.
Because she wouldn't be much older than us.
You're probably right.
Really? Because she would have been.
I don't know.
She would have been 10, 12 when the Waltons were 10 and 12.
I'm talking Little House on the Prairie.
Little House, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Nellie Olson.
Nellie Olson. Yeah, I think you're right. And she had a little brother.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't know where I caught up on this. I have no idea why I caught up on that.
Little House on the Prairie was family watching TV, and then I think it might have been that might have been a Sunday, but then MASH and Little House on the Prairie. I think I might have watched those more than anything else when I was a kid.
I think Sunday viewing at my grandparents' house. We go for dinner there every 2-3 weeks. 1, 2, 3. I can't remember. Yeah.
It ended with Disney for sure.
It ended with Brent walking home because I didn't like being there. But there was like Lauren Green's New Wilderness.
Oh, that was awesome too.
Right? New Wilderness.
Yeah.
And then it was Disney. And then it was, I think, Fraggle Rock or the Waltons or one or the other. Like it was in that thing. Yeah. Yeah.
And Disney, you're always just so stoked when it was actual cartoons as opposed to...
Because I would try to tell Grandpa Jim, fuck me. I remember this like it was yesterday. Sitting, because they made me sit in the fucking floor. I don't know why. But like well, there's a chair there. He said, I can't sit on the floor. All right, whatever. But I said, Grandpa Jim, like this one will be a cartoon for sure. And I had no reason to believe that. At least it's whatever. Yeah.
Cartoons are better.
I like cartoons. We lost. Anyways, I hit pause here. That's it for the 1420 Sports Bar podcast. For Beer Sports Talking a whole lot more. This was brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase over there at SeatGeek. Walton's or the Partridge?
Little House on the Prairie. What's that?
Walton's or Partridge?
Partridge Family? You know what? I probably prefer the Partridge Family because even though I remember the Waltons, I don't remember any storyline ever. And at least on the Partridge Family, I got a crush on Susan Day a little bit, playing her keyboards. And that sassy fucking redhead and that cool bus. And who was her manager? He was kind of cool too. I didn't mind him.
I have no idea.
No, I couldn't remember to tell you a storyline about the Partridge Family either, but I did crush on like Susan Day a little bit.
She was cute.
Yeah, she probably still is. Older than me now. I gotta assume, so I was 12, she was 17, so. I gotta assume, and then she was on Law and Order, which I
know that.
Yeah, and I super crushed on her there. So I was glad I crushed on her before she was a woman.
The 1420 Sports Bar podcast, for Beer Sports Talking a whole lot more. Are you thinking of going to a game or a concert in the coming days ahead, or do you already have tickets and want to upgrade where you're sitting? It's simple. Go to SeatGeek.com or the SeatGeek app. They have tickets for all sports going on right now, as well as concert tickets to shows throughout North America. And to make things even better, use promo code 1420pod. That's 1420pod and receive $20 off your first purchase. Once again, that's promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com or the SeatGeek app. The 1420 Sports Bar podcast, for Beer Sports Talking a whole lot more. This segment, as always, brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today and save $20 on your first purchase. Dave, we saw I don't want to say an uneventful super wild card weekend, but now that the stage is set for there should be some really, really good football games this weekend coming up. A lot of entertainment. But before we get to that, Dave, I don't know why this is still making headlines. I don't know why. I'm going to bring it up because it makes headlines. But I have no idea why this makes headlines. And I heard somebody on bringing Deanne back from the airport or to the airport on Monday night. But I have no idea why Brett Favre would feel the need to make a statement about Taylor Swift at a football game. That I don't understand. Like we're doing it on the positive side. I don't understand why Brett Favre would feel the need to make a statement about Taylor Swift watching her boyfriend / fiance, whatever it might be. I don't get it.
I do believe I saw that, and I did a little thing. I do believe that's fabricated. I don't know if that's real. And then the next thing, I can't believe that anyone would put a microphone in front of that
ass hat's face.
Dick pic sending, government swindling piece of shit.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
That's what he is now. Like, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. Yep. But as a human being, I wipe him off my fucking shoe. He's a piece of fucking shit. So there you go. Him and Kurt Schilling can form their own little piece of shit Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's odd to me because you look back. I heard that, and this isn't a Brent original by any means, or 1420 original by any means. And you look back over the years that we've been alive, when people were like people bitching about Taylor Swift being on like a celebrity being on TV all the time. I remember, and you will too. I remember Jack Nicholson courtside at fucking every fucking Lakers game. Every single one of them.
You bet.
Right? So what the fuck is the difference?
Well, and the same thing, like at that KC game, there was this dance going on, and they were all doing the thing, and they showed the up in the box, and she's sitting beside Mahomes, and she's dancing with everybody else, and people are fucking bitching at her. What? She's not allowed to have fucking fun anymore. She's not asking for this fucking camera time. So get off her fucking ass. Bitch at NBC or whoever the broadcaster is, bitch at them.
Yeah.
It ain't her fault that she's having fun at a fucking playoff game watching her boyfriend play football. You're supposed to have fucking fun. So, like, crawl out it. Anybody that wants to bitch at Taylor Swift right now about, it ain't her fucking fault. So crawl out of her ass and deal with your own issues. I'm 100%. Fucking tired of people bitching about Taylor Swift.
No, I will tell the fucking everything. You look over the years, how many celebrities are on courtside, how many celebrities in this, how many celebrities did that, and now she's the one, because yes, there is more media now. There's social media now. There was back when Jack Nicholson was courtside. It's mind-boggling to me. I don't understand it. I don't get it. If you're watching the game, if you're watching a football game at home or with your buddies and everything else, there's a very good chance you aren't watching between plays anyways, right? You're not.
It doesn't matter. Anything that happens, right? Like the Geico commercial, tune out. The fucking whatever, tune out. When they show Taylor Swift, tune out. Like, just don't fucking worry about it. I'm here to watch a game. Well, then watch a fucking game. They have so much goddamn filler. They got to do something, right? So stop it. Quit being a fucking bitch.
The game of the weekend and the game of the year. I don't think this is the game that's going to decide Super Bowl, but the game of the weekend this weekend might be Bills and we talk about it all the time. We talk about the Allen versus Mahomes and blah, blah, blah. But the game of the weekend just might be, and this, I don't think it's a Super Bowl, but might be the Bills and the Chiefs. The first time that the Chiefs have been on the road in the Mahomes era in the playoffs. What's your take on that? Who's going to win?
I think KC's going to win. I want Buffalo to win, but I think KC's going to win because the playmakers and the coaches know how to win. They have won. They know what it takes to when the going gets tough, they know how to actually perform and execute. And they played this year. The Bills did beat them. But that was in the regular season. This is now the playoffs. I think Mahomes is the consummate winner. I think Josh Allen, this is if there's ever been a fuck or walk game, this is it for Josh Allen and McDermott, whoever the fuck their coach is. This is it. If they lose this game, there's changes coming in Buffalo. Because this is what they wanted. This is what Buffalo wanted. This is what they want. Wow, give us another chance. Give us another chance. This is their chance. And all the pressure, I think all the pressure is on Buffalo. And I don't know if they can handle it. So I think KC is going to win this game. I do want Buffalo to win this game, but I don't trust Buffalo as far as I can kick them.
Like, how much do you take? Like, eventually, the teams that win eventually lose, right? No one wins 27 in a row, right? So, but how much do you take into a team that is supposed to win, eventually doesn't? Eventually the streaks end, right?
Like the Oilers, Islanders,
Islanders
in NBA, like
84, Lakers and Celtics, the Yankees, and
the Bulls had to go. The Bulls had to go
The
through
Bulls.
the Pistons,
like
right?
And what does it come down to coaching, or players or management? Like what's your eventually dynasties end. I'm not saying the fucking Chiefs are a dynasty. They're not. They won a couple, whatever.
But they're looking at dynasty status.
They're looking at it, but they ain't. So anybody who's stroking off fucking Mahomes and Kelsey and on and on and on, they're not. They're a team that's won a couple and been pretty good, and that's all they are. Like right now, they're a team that's won a couple and has been pretty good. That's it. Right.
Well, it's just like Ric Flair right now. If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. And that's what's in front of the Buffalo Bills this weekend. That's it. Like it's like they're looking at the game they want to play, and it's the game they have to win, and it's the game at their home stadium. So if they lose this, there's no more excuses. There's no more. You're just simply not good enough. So I think all the pressure is on Buffalo, and I'm really curious because I like the Bills more than I like KC. I like Josh Allen. I think he's an all-world player. It's just I'm really curious as to what's going to happen because Andy Reid's a better coach than the Buffalo coach. There's no doubt in my mind on that. And so what can Buffalo do to counteract excuse me, the tricks and intricacies that Kansas City is going to pull out because they're so much more creative than Buffalo. Buffalo has playmakers, but they've also lost some games they should have won. Josh, and now it's the playoffs.
If the Bills don't win this weekend, Josh Allen is Eric Lindros.
Yeah, pretty much. Even if he balls out, you know what? And like even if
really,
even if he has a great game.
Lindros went to the 97, 98 finals, 97 finals against Detroit. Lost.
Yeah,
never got back again. Right, and he's a great big guy. All the this and that and everything else, and Josh Allen, if you don't win this weekend and get past that hump, he is Eric Lindros. And it's a very fair comparison.
No, I think that's a great comparison, right?
I'm
like
very
it's you can be, and I really like
what's
that.
The blue one? Yeah.
Well, and I'm going to give you your props when they're deserved. Mahomes has done it, and Josh Allen hasn't. This isn't even to go to the Super Bowl. This is just a semifinal game. So there's a lot riding on this game for Josh. There's more riding on this game for the Bills than KC. And
disagree.
All the press. Well,
I disagree.
KC already has 2 Super Bowls, right?
But to be a legacy, though, Dave, to be a legacy, you got to win not once in a while. You got to keep winning. You got if you want to be an all-timer. Yes, Mahomes is probably going to the Hall of Fame already. But to be an all-timer, you got to win a few in a row. And you got to win two doesn't really do it. Because you know what? Right now, let's just say for sake of conversation that if the Chiefs don't win another one, who is better, Mahomes or Eli Manning? Same guy. 1-2.
Eli Manning.
Right? So there it is.
Yeah. No.
Eli took teams that weren't very good.
Yeah.
So who's better? Like right now, if Mahomes was to say, you know what, I can't play anymore, my legs are tired, my wife's a fucking lunatic, I can't, whatever. Who's better? Right?
They're the same. Right? They're the same
person.
Right.
The same career.
But that's why I think the pressure is more on Josh Allen, because he wants to be discussed in the same conversation as Eli Manning and Patrick Mahomes, right? And if he doesn't, then but
if Mahomes if Mahomes doesn't do it, he's just another quarterback right now.
Yeah, but then again, Mahomes is just going to run it up again next year. What's going to happen with Buffalo? Now this is 3 times in 5 years. We can't get over this hump. We got to make changes. Kansas City 2 times in the last 5 years, they've won Super Bowls and lost in 1. They've made 3. Buffalo hasn't licked the jar yet. They're looking at the jar. They haven't even got the fucking lid off the jar yet. They get the lid off the jar. That's why I think this game is far more important to the Buffalo Bills than it is to Kansas City. Continuing a legacy or actually wanting to be part of the conversation. If the Bills don't win this game, they're not even part of the conversation.
But when you're in the conversation, you want to be part of the conversation.
But they won't be if they lose again.
No, but what I'm saying, that they when your ears to being part of the conversation, like the Chiefs are, you continue to want to be part of the conversation.
Correct.
No one likes me some me. Right?
Yeah.
And if the Chiefs lose this year again, and then it's done, and then it's another, and it's another, all of a sudden they're just nobody. They're just a couple of wins and whatever. Yeah,
I do hear what you're saying, but they have 2 in the bank, and Buffalo has none. Buffalo's playing for relevancy, because you know what?
I agree with that. Yeah,
because Joe Cool is going to be back next year, and we'll see what's going to happen with Baltimore, because they ain't going away either.
Joe Cool is going to be the most Mr. Irrelevant player in the history of football in sports.
I hope it's not because of
you know what? Second Lindros. Joe Cool is going to be Eric Lindros.
Not Josh Allen. Josh Allen is more of a Doug Gilmour.
Yeah. No. Fuck, that's a good comparison.
Or a Matt Sundin. Josh Allen is probably a Matt Sundin.
Given his all. Gonna put up big numbers and whatever.
Possible Hall of Famer, yeah.
No, Sundin's in Hall of Fame. Yeah, it's fun. It's funny how you compare guys to that. It's just, I just think that Joe Burrow is in a situation now where he's
Val Burre. Joe Burrow is Val Burre.
Valerie or Pavel?
Oh, Pavel. Sorry. Pavel.
Joe Burrow's not nearly as good as Pavel Bure. Not nearly as good.
He's pretty fucking good. But he's injury prone.
Oh yeah, Joe, out of your fucking head.
Joe Burrow is a game changer. Cincinnati Bengals were absolute fucking trash until they got him. And they'll be trash forever. I don't think Joe Burrow is going to deliver, but I think Joe Burrow
is one of the top 10 hockey players of all time.
That's ridiculous. You can't say that. He's one of the top 10. No, he's not better. He's not better. Do you want to do the list right now? He's not better than Messier.
Oh, you're.
Did he have a better career than Mark Messier?
Not a better career, he's a better player.
Oh, so that's what we're doing.
You ask Glenn Slater, he'd take fucking Bure over fucking Messier.
I don't think so. So he's not better than Gretzky.
Dave, shut it. Shut your yap. You would take Bure over Messier.
Well, not a career. Looking back, Bure was hurt all the time. Fucking Messier is top 5 in goals in points in the NHL in the career, for fuck's sake.
I know. But I'm Brent Redlinsky, not 1420. I think Messier is overrated. I really do.
I think he's a bit overrated too, but when you look at his numbers, you really can't argue.
I agree. His numbers are huge. He's 4th or 5th all time in points. I mean,
but he played.
He fell in a pretty warm bowl of soup.
Yeah, but he won 2 without Gretzky.
Yeah,
and Gretzky didn't win any without him.
I don't know why, Dave. I'm just not a Messier guy. I have no idea why. I have no idea. I'm just not. I'm just
right. He won. Yeah, he won one. He won one with the Oilers without Gretzky, and he won in the Rangers.
94. Right?
See, he has 2 more cups than Wayne Gretzky. He's not better than Wayne Gretzky. Don't get me wrong.
He's not better than Burry.
I think he's better than Burry. Burry, no one feared Burry. Well, they feared his speed and goaling, but like as a physical presence, no. Give me Messier over Burry any day, and that might be the old school Canadian boy.
I agree with you. it's odd. It's odd. It's odd for me because I was a part of that hockey thing years ago, and I don't like Messier. I don't know what it is. I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, neither do I.
I don't dislike him. I still like.
You think he's overrated?
Overrated, yeah.
Who's more overrated, him or Yari Curry?
Oh fuck. That's a tough question because fucking.
There's 2 coattails, right?
I mean, Curry. Curry had a pretty good run with old Gretz there, 99, number 17 to 99.
On 2 different teams.
Like, right? How many times was that said over in Edmonton there at Northlands Coliseum? Number 99, assisted by Yari Curry. Like, I don't want to say either of them are overrated, but Curry doesn't do fuck all without Gretzky. Messier would have.
Yeah, I'll agree with that, Steve.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong on that?
Yeah. Like Curry was a bit of a one-trick pony. Like he was Brett Hull before Brett Hull and before Ovechkin. Like he just knew where to be, but he had that's doing disrespect to Hull and Ovechkin. Curry just knew where to be, right? Like when you're just keep your stick on the ice and get close to the fucking net, and I'll find you. Don't worry about it.
He goes the other way and put my stick here or there. Yeah. So yeah.
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 But nonetheless, we got to get back to the NFL talk. So Bills and KC are done. I have a question. Like so.
Oh yeah.
The next AFC game is Baltimore home to Houston. How much pressure? Who has more pressure on them right now than Lamar Jackson as the number 1 seed, having this great thing, or once again, I'm going to bring it back to Josh Allen. Who has more pressure on him this weekend? Because Baltimore hasn't. I don't think they won a playoff game with Lamar Jackson.
They're 1-3, I think it is. Yeah,
with him as a quarterback.
Yeah.
And CJ Stroud is just relaxing, slinging it.
The thing about pressure is that who gives a fuck? Like as a fan base, they shouldn't care. But as a player, I think that Lamar Jackson needs to eventually do something.
He has to win this game. He has to win this game.
Yeah, it's not just, and it is actually him because here in the 1420 podcast, sponsored by SeatGeek.com, SeatGeek app, you eventually you gotta do something, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like really, you gotta do something.
Regular season stats are cool,
and if you don't do something, then you're just another guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you might be rich, and you know what? Being rich is one thing, but having a ring on your finger might not be a bad thing. But yeah, he better win something eventually, and soon, because if he doesn't do something this year or next year, He's going to be the guy we talk about 3 years from now. Like, holy fuck, this fucking guy.
Can you believe, like,
doesn't do fuck all. Dak Prescott. La da 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 da.
Who's better, Mike Trout or Lamar Jackson?
Lamar Jackson goes to playoffs. Mike Trout's the most overrated person in baseball in sports. We'll talk baseball next week. In sports.
All right, we'll leave it.
Jesus Christ.
Is there anything? Do you have any interesting storylines for the NFC? The Packers at San Fran and Tampa, Detroit. It's in my mind, it's going to be Detroit going to San Fran for the NFC. Like, all right, do you have any? I'm a quasi Niners guy, but I really, really, really want Detroit to win that game. You don't want my boy Baker to fucking figure it out?
I actually kind of hope that Baker and this is what's going to happen. I'm going to call it right now. Baker is going to go on a little bit of a bender the night before.
Eminem might give him a call and get him out to the club the night before?
Knowing he's going to lose the game the next day. And then just have a good time. Yeah, no, fuck Baker Mayfield. I hope you're right again on Monday because it's great content, but I just can't. I can't with Baker Mayfield. I just can't.
I think Detroit's going to win this game too. I really cannot see the Buccaneers winning in Detroit. But I don't want it to be Baker's fault. Just to continue the narrative of Baker's actually a gamer. Like he'll never make the Hall of Fame. He's not all world, but
he's one more playoff against Joe Burrow.
No, he's only won 2. He's only won 2. Joe Burrow made it to the Super Bowl, and then Joe Burrow beat.
Okay, I apologize.
Yeah, I'd rather have Joe Burrow than Baker Mayfield. Don't get me wrong. I'm not getting off. I'm not gonna stroke Baker Mayfield that much. He's not my all world.
Why do you like him so much?
Just because I think he's a gamer, and I think he comes to play. I think he prepares. He just his only problem. He doesn't have the physical talents, and he's short. And I think that makes a big difference in the NFL.
Huh.
He's funny. You see his ads? They're hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
No, I dig him.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't write those.
No, I understand, but you got to deliver, right? You see those Randy Johnson fucking ads from back in the day? Guy couldn't fucking deliver a line if it was handed to him by U.S. Post.
Who's so the games this weekend? Who wins?
I think in the NFC it's clear. San Fran beats up on the Pack. Detroit beats Tampa Bay. Baltimore beats Houston. I think if there is going to be an upset, I think that would be it because that CJ Stroud is just so good and he's playing with house money. I think Baltimore wins. I think Baltimore covers. But if there's going to be an upset at that one, Bills KC, I don't even know the line on that one. I'm going to quickly look it up. Where is it? Oh, that's a Saturday game. No, that's a Sunday game. Bills Chiefs. Oh, Buffalo's favored by 3.
That's nothing. Bothers me. That bothers me. When it's just that's a fucking play.
Well, they got to put a number on it.
No, right? I know, but why? Well, then fuck off.
Would you rather 2.5 or 3.5?
3.5. I'd rather 3.5.
Bills KC. Fuck, you know what? I think KC wins that. I don't want that to happen, but I think KC wins. So I would definitely take KC to cover. Then probably an outright win.
KC wins. KC wins. And Green Bay wins.
You think Green Bay is going to beat San Fran?
Yeah.
Oh. I'll put anything you want on that one.
Any given Sunday, Dave. Any given Sunday. Like
You're
we
right.
talk about it every week.
You are right. You're right. Well, maybe we'll make. We'll figure a bet off thing before we wrap up. And then
I don't bet because I'm bad at this.
Oh no, but like it'll be just kind of a funny thing. Maybe you can wear a Broncos jersey around town for a day, or walk around with wet jeans or something.
I don't like wet jeans.
The loser wears wet jeans for a day.
A day?
Right out of the washer. You don't even get to put them. Like, you fucking put them on and walk around. You gotta go. Not a day. You got to go grocery shopping or something like that. You got to attend something.
Awful. Like,
and we can wait till summer too.
I'm not putting any wager on to lose on that one. Not a chance.
Well, it doesn't cost you any money. You just got to wear wet jeans.
I don't like being uncomfortable. There's no way I'm wearing wet jeans for like an
Would you rather wear wet jeans
on purpose?
For a day? Would you rather wear wet jeans for a day or wear a dress for a day?
Dress.
Okay. Well, tell the Greek goddess that we're going to be fucking snooping through her closet.
Like, not
her drawers. I'm not going into her drawers, just her closet.
Jesus Christ, that's fucking nuts. Unbelievable. No.
I'm just trying to think of fun bets.
Anyway, Dave, we kind of got off our schedule for a couple weeks here. Who was better and would you rather got kind of mixed up there, but I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who is better? You ready to go?
I am.
Dave, who is better? David Wells, Toronto Blue Jays,
Yankee no hitter,
New York Yankees, perfect game actually, or
bit of a drunkard,
or Larry David.
David Wells or Larry David?
Yeah.
David Wells is a salty motherfucker, as is Larry David. David Wells is a professional athlete. I think he was just extremely average. The only thing that I appreciate about David Wells is that he was a Yankee fan, ended up with the Yankees, pitched that perfect game with a hangover because I believe he was a surprise starter. He was hanging out at the Saturday Night Live
there was no surprise.
Party.
He just was out too late. Yeah.
Yeah. So he probably did a line or two I don't know that, but fuck, if you're partying with movie stars, you probably got a little pick-me-up coming up your way. He was able to pitch a perfect game for the Yankees. Larry David is half responsible for top 3 sitcoms of all time with Seinfeld. Curb Your Enthusiasm. I still watch it. I watch it all the time. I go
watch
back.
Seinfeld every night.
And Curb Your Enthusiasm is fucking awesome too. This one goes to Larry David by a fucking landslide.
Oh, that much, eh?
By a landslide. I never liked David Wells. I think David Wells and his fucking act and surly. He's just one of those surly guys and me, I'm old school. Like, you're not old school. Like, just fucking grab the ball and fucking throw it. And he won the lottery by throwing that no-hitter.
Perfect game.
Right? Oh, are you sure? What's a perfect game?
I'm very sure.
No, I'm just going to keep calling it a no-hitter. No-hitter is the same thing as a perfect game, isn't it?
Actually, he's on the perfect game wall of fame over here. Whatever here.
Well, okay. Well, did he give up? Did he give up any hits?
No, it's a perfect game.
Well, then, so it was just a no-hitter. Yeah.
I fuck. As we get close to baseball season, we'll have the Deanne on the show, and maybe you guys can talk about perfect games and no hitters and everything else, because both of you have different.
I understand it was a perfect game. I do, but I just don't like David Wells. I just don't like.
That's like, I love her to death, like to no end, and we're gonna be together forever. But I tell you what, Dave, she gets my goat about perfect games and this and no hitters and everything else. And yeah, I don't know how many more baseball seasons we can get through with her continuing to do that.
So, like, her perfect game is 27 pitches.
Yes.
Ground out to second, ground out to second, ground out.
Well, perfect game is 81 pitches to her.
Why 81?
Strikeout. No one touched the ball.
Oh, okay. Oh, so like a bat never finds ball.
Never. And
but can you foul one off with a second pitch and strike out on the third?
No one can touch the ball.
Oh,
it's not perfect.
So wood doesn't find leather.
Fuck, I hate her.
Huh?
Fucking drives me.
Sounds like a lot of people I know. Like, wood doesn't find leather.
Oh, it just drives me. Dave, who is better, Chris Chelios or Chris Everett?
Chris Chelios has a lot more stories that I've heard of through the grapevine. He's an Ironman. Didn't he play till he was like honestly 44 years old?
He was closer to 48, I think, when we called her good.
Jesus Christ, with the Blackhawks, with the Habs, with the Detroit, and he was a workout machine. The Olympics, the U.S. got eliminated in the
with the Motor City Mechanics in the UHL in their strike season of '94.
Fucker loved playing hockey, and he was a workout machine. And drank champagne from women's shoes at the Olympics. Like, there's stories about that guy. But you know what? Chris Everett Lloyd was one of my fucking crushes. And I'm
really
love Chrissy. Chris Everett Lloyd, and I would always watch her get beat by Martina Navratilova. Yeah, those were the rivals. But Chrissy, so Chris Everett Lloyd, whatever. She was a bit of a crush. She wasn't a bit of a crush. She was a huge crush of mine. So this one, and she won Grand Slams. Like, she's 10, 12 Grand Slams. So she's no joke. Tennis Hall of Famer. Chris Chelios is a Hall of Famer. But sorry, as far as hockey goes, he's an American. So that chicks you down a couple knocks.
Well, America.
Chris Everett Lloyd wins this one, just because of because I was a tennis fan and I really crush on her.
Really, because she's totally Greg Norman now, I think, right?
I think they're divorced. I would hope so, and so I'm willing to overlook that because it's just fantasy world, anyways, right? And if her and I end up together, like Greg Norman has something to do with it, anyways.
Well, there's a lot going on there. If you
if you're gonna crush, you can't take all their political. Well, I don't know what she believes. I just know her husband's a bit of a knucklehead.
Oh, is Norman a knucklehead?
Well, he's running the LIV, right?
Well, you give someone $1 billion, you're going to just take it, right?
Well, he was a billionaire before this too. Like, so I don't understand his motives, but whatever. It was Chelios or Chris Everett Lloyd, and I still stick with Chrissy because I don't. I'm not here to crush on partners.
Dave, who is better? KC and the Sunshine Band or the Kansas City Chiefs?
I thought you were going to say Casey Kasem, but if anyone wants to celebrate good times, it is me, right? And so just on that, the Kansas City Chiefs are divisional rivals to my Broncos. We own them forever. The tables have been turned. But come on, celebrate good times. Casey and the Sunshine Band all day, every day.
That one ain't close.
It isn't close. No.
Like anybody who fucking says something that the KC and the Sunshine Band is worse than Kansas City Chiefs, they're stupid. They're stupid.
Because KC and the Sunshine Band has given more joy to more people than the Kansas
100%. There is a bar somewhere across North America, across the world right now, that is listening to hopefully the 1420 podcast, but as well as KC the Sunshine Band and getting down tonight more so than they care about the fucking Kansas City Chiefs.
It's the perfect sporting song. I don't even know if they knew that when they wrote that song. It was the absolute best post game song ever, right? Like it's played in every arena, everywhere. I won't say constantly because maybe it's becoming a little dated, but you know what? When the home team wins and I hear that song, the toe is tapping.
There was a bar in Vegas that me and Deanne used like all the time. Carnival Court. Went there so often over the years that you just knew. But when Casey and Sunshine Band came on, people got down. No one gets down on a Tuesday afternoon just because the fucking highlights of the fucking Kansas City Chiefs game is on. Casey and the Sunshine Band is hands and above better than the KC Royals, the KC Chiefs, the KC whatever else is going on there. Casey and the Sunshine Band wins hands down.
And just that song, right? Like I don't have any idea what the rest of their catalog is, but Celebrate Good Times is an all-timer.
Yeah. We should know more of their songs because we're kind of things.
Excuse me.
I have a couple others, but they're nearly as good as those. So we'll call her a night, Dave. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine. Yeah. Well, what do you do? Hey, have you listened to our? I listened to our friends Dave and John, the Level the Playing Field guys.
Yeah.
Dave, if you're listening, fuck that shitty news, buddy. I hope you figure it out and figure it out. And it's bad news. Well, not bad news. It's unfortunate news, and it's not like it's life altering. Well, maybe it is. Sorry, but nonetheless, all I'm trying to say here, as I'm getting a little wordy, is Dave thinking about you. Hope things turn out well for you and your family. You had something to say about the Craft Brewed boys.
Yeah, on on Tuesday, got the news. Mike Burlon from Craft Brewed Sports guys, they put it up on the Belly Up Sports account there that Caesar, one of the bright lights of the world, man, that he was. I watched him every Tuesday night, and Caesar passed away in an ATV accident on Sunday, and it's hard because I watch those guys every Tuesday, and we like Dave, you talk about it all the time. We have a podcast family, like we have we have Jim from all the guys. It's hard because you talk about all these things. We have a podcast family. We all support each other, and when you hear about a person passing away, that we support each other and everything else, it's pretty tough. So Caesar, all the best to you, man. Cheers, because it was tough to hear that because he was a shining light. And Mike Burlon, he said it best on Craft Brew Sports the other night. He said, the one shining light that he had was he didn't he didn't become jaded. He was one of the shining lights of things and podcasts and everything else. And it was great to watch him on Tuesday nights. And it's one of those things. It's sad to see and everything else, but yeah, it's tough. So I'm gonna put stuff on our social media accounts and everything else to support his family and everything else. But yeah, it's tough. It was tough. It was tough because I watched that every Tuesday, and it's it was odd. It was odd. And Dave, you talk about it all the time too. Like we have a podcast family that we support each other, and to see that it's hard. It's hard.
We don't know each other. We know each other. Yeah, we've never seen each other face to face, and but doing this together, we've been able to develop a bit of a family with each other, and you more with Craft Brewed than myself, that's for sure. To the Craft Brewed family, and specifically to Caesar and the people he has left behind. It's a tragedy, and it sucks. And myself too, like who lost my brother not a year ago. We're here. We think about you, and that's all. That's all we can say. All we can do is recognize and recognize your contributions to the fact that we even know your name, right? Yeah. And we're a couple of Jamokis sitting here in Southern Alberta. So condolences to everybody in that neck of the woods, and we're sorry.
Yeah, it was when I first saw it, I was shocked. Like it just, and then you watch the show and Mike and the guys, Mike, Mookie, and Scott. Hats off to you guys, because man, I couldn't have done it if Dave or I would have passed away and tried to do something else. Like I couldn't have done what you guys did tonight. It was fantastic what you guys the tribute you did to Caesar, because he was. I think I actually watched the very first show you guys had with Caesar, the intern from Belly Up Sports. So no. Anyways, let's end it on good night, Dave. The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, Four Beer Sports talking a whole lot more. Take care of yourself, more important, take care of yourself. And
don't swing at high pitches, Jim. And take care, everybody. From afar, we love you all. Thank you for taking the time, and I'm just like once again reflecting and just life is short. Live it.
Hug your friends.
Hug your friends. Tell them you love them. I love you, Brent.
Love you, Dave. 30 fucking years.
40 fucking years. Like, holy shit. I'd love you more if you came by and shoveled my walk in the morning if it needed be. On your way. I'm on your way to fucking Spitz Stadium. Shovel my fucking walk. Show me you love me. Well, talk is cheap. Anyways,
a man of my stature would shovel the walk today at the stadium. Fuck me, I couldn't believe it.
Why don't you guys have a thing? Don't you have a brusher, like one of those ones with the bristles?
No, it's
you're too busy buying fucking t-shirt printing things.
Designing hats.
Oh, okay.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. Good night, everybody.